Good evening. I'm Maria Laukai with the New Dawn FM News. The headlines: JSB meeting in Port Moresby. Cocoa Board Regional Office in Buka to conduct a cocoa assessors training. Bougainvilleans want to think about bail fees before committing crime. Bougainville Peace Agreement puts Bougainville Police Service at risk and call for the national government and ABG to settle debts owed to the service providers. The news in detail. The Joint Supervisory Body meeting was held in the APEC House in Port Moresby. In his opening remarks, the ABG President, Chief Dr. John Mommis, stressed the importance of the meeting as this forum to deal with the most important matter of self-determination for Bougainville as per the results of the Bougainville referendum. It is important that we collaborate according to the Bougainville Peace Agreement to find a lasting solution to this important issue that has been before the leaders of PNG and Bougainville for a long time, he said. Fortunately, in the recent conduct of the Bougainville referendum, it has been made clear that the people of Bougainville and the national government will have to consult over the referendum and nothing else. President Mommis reiterated that the consultations must begin soon and that it must be guided by the Bougainville Peace Agreement in order for the both governments to find lasting and peaceful solutions. In response, the Prime Minister, Honorable James Marape, affirmed the importance of this JSB as the first meeting after the historical referendum. The wisdom of the 2001 peace agreement has been our progress this far. Through the 2001 peace agreement, we have secured the referendum, and today's JSB is the most important task far because the future of what will unveil in both PNG and Bougainville will very much depend on the direction this JSB said Marape. The Cocoa Board Regional Office in Buka will be conducting a cocoa assessors training in the month of June in Buka and Arua. Senior Field Officer of the Cocoa Board PNG, Valerian Hanete, is extending the invitation to cocoa exporters, dry bean dealers, development partners, ABG DPI, interested organizations, and interested farmers in the autonomous region of Bougainville to attend the training. The registration fee for the training is 300 kina per participant. The training targets to run the course at 25 participants in Buka and 50 participants in Arua. Interested participants in North Bougainville are advised to pay their registration fee at Buka Regional Office, and participants in Central and South are to pay their registration fee at Arua Cocoa Board Sub-Branch Office. For more information, interested participants are advised to see Senior Field Officer Valerian Hanete at Buka Regional Office and Senior Field Officer Jeffrey Kara at Arua Sub-Branch Office. To pay the registration fee, participants in Buka are advised to see Elsie Bakatao at Buka Office and Matilda Naiken at Arua Office. A crime of summary offense is now worth 500 kina to bail out, says Buka Police Sergeant Leslie Metten. Sergeant Metten said 500 kina is only for the minor offenses, whereas for serious cases the amount for bail is much higher. Mr. Metten explaining the full powers of the police: arresting, detaining, search and seize, and use of force or firearms, said people must know the word of their freedom after detention. He said Bougainvilleans must consider thinking about the fee for bail before committing any crime in the community because their freedom of movement will be denied without the cash. You are listening to New Dawn FM News. According to Police Sergeant Leslie Metten, the Bougainville Peace Agreement has placed the Bougainville Police Service at risk. Mr. Metten said under this agreement, police are not allowed to use firearms. However, he believes that some people are still in possession of guns. He said policemen and policewomen always risk their lives going into the communities to practice their police powers with the fear that people with guns might take advantage of them. Mr. Metten said the police service is aware that not everyone gave away their guns and always take precautions when enforcing the laws in the communities. He appealed to the public to understand the need of working together with the government to dispose all firearms. He said law and order will not be effective if people in the communities are still holding onto guns. Chairman for the National Election Service Providers of 2012, Mr. Wilfred Komba, is calling on the national government and the ABG to pay up the 5 million kina they owe to the service providers. Mr. Komba said the national government did not pay the 5 million kina to the service providers after conducting the 2012 national election in Bougainville. He said the service providers from all over Bougainville have waited for 9 years and yet they have not received any word from the two governments about this. Mr. Komba said even though important documents are provided to show the outline service providers list, the government did nothing about it. He appeals to the two governments to allocate funds to settle this debt as soon as possible. Finally, to end the English bulletin, here are the news headlines again. JSB meeting in Port Moresby. Cocoa Board Regional Office in Buka to conduct a cocoa assessors training. Bougainvilleans want to think about bail fees before committing crime. Bougainville Peace Agreement puts Bougainville Police at risk. And call for the national government and ABG to settle debts owed to the service providers. This has been the New Dawn FM News in English. For more news, please visit the two New Dawn FM sites on www.bougainville.typet.com, www.bougainvillenews.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and listen to us on New Dawn YouTube page. On behalf of the news team, I'm Maria Laukai. Happy listening.